So yeah, hey guys, good day to any one of you viewing this video. I'm Atul yet again, and I'm just like doing this app called Absolute Cinema. That's part of like the Google Live Agents Hackathon. So when it comes to like Absolute Cinema, the inspiration behind this was the fact that the human mind is a very interesting thing indeed. Like you can think a lot about it and think about a lot of different things, maybe like your dreams, maybe like their thoughts and stuff as it is. And the creativity of the human mind is something that's really interesting in such a way that you formulate a lot of stories in your head. Some of them are like really exclusive in nature. So what is the idea behind this is like, in this case, i I actually was able to develop this agent over here. All right. What does this do? It's pretty simple. You can, like the title says, you can transform your story into a cinematic comic book because you want to visualize your stories and ideas coming into life as well. And the best part is it's multimodal. You can type your prompts and you can also speak your prompts. Now, typing your prompts is going to be pretty easy. So now let's try this out. Let's try this. Okay. Now I'm going to record a prompt and let's see how it goes. Japan is turning its footsteps into electricity using piezoelectric crystals. Now I paused the prompt saying this thing using pizza, like using piezoelectric crystals. And let's give some more of a context to it. So, a scientist from Japan experimented on an idea for 10 years that resulted in turning footsteps into electricity using piezoelectric crystals, and then he receives a Nobel Prize after a lot of failure. He receives a Nobel Prize for this achievement, for this breakthrough. So over here, the thing is like, what exactly happened is like I gave a good prompt over here saying like if you listen to it, the prompt is actually there. So I hope you guys heard the prompt there because that was the prompt over here. And then and then we can choose any genre if you want to. Like there's romance, there's sci-fi, there's fable, there's horror, there's action, there's thriller, there's western, cyberpunk, sports and panchatantra and tragedy. This of course is going to be a sci-fi. And the visual style, we can have it as an anime. It look really good. Now we just keep it at 5 pages. You can keep any number of pages you want to over here. And then after that, once you click on generate comic, it's going to start generating the comic, of course. So generating the comic is going to take quite some time here because you're going to make Gemini calls for it, and there's no, oh, see, a cover got generated. That's really good. So the only problem with Gemini's 2.5 flash images, like when you keep on giving the calls quite a lot, it's going to take a lot of waiting time for this thing. But in the process, like I'll just discuss as like what exactly is happening behind the scenes. Okay, so I mean nothing. Let me just see what could be done here. Okay, see the page 105 got generated, so that's pretty good. So in the backend, in my GitHub repo, there is a lot of environment variables that calls like the model. It calls like it enables Vertex AI as well as it enables like the project name and everything as it is. So what's going to happen is like we connect it to Google Cloud from the environment variables, and once it's connected to Google Cloud, uh, so now here's the architecture diagram. So like once it's connected to Google Cloud, what exactly happens is like you um, all the information is passed to it, and then after that I wrote an agent code which exactly calls Gemini for like the cover page generation as well as for the generation of the 5 pages. So that's pretty good indeed. And then what exactly happens is once the 5 pages and like the cover page is generated, I pass the pages are generated in such a way that they're generated panel by panel initially, and then I push all the panels to Pillow, and then Pillow integrates those three panels together, and then gives you like one page of a comic book, because minimalistic through my search through a lot of other documentations like using to my readings I got to know that uh comic books in general minimal have like three panels in general. I want to try it to be like having three panels and stuff as it is. So since it has three panels, I give like each and every of those three panels a kind of an importance. And then after that I join the three panels together to make one page. And the same applies for all in this case like there are like 5 pages. So those 5 pages of the book, all 5 pages have the same format, like three panels, and each every panel has like a narration text and a dialogue text, because the dialogue will be in white, the narration will be in like yellow. So I think once the pages are generated, I can explain to you guys as like what exactly is happening. So before the pairs are getting generated, I'll tell you like how the input has been like got over here, especially in terms of audio. So in terms of audio, initially I started with Pi audio, pretty fun, pretty cool. But then when it came to like integrating with Streamlit as a backend, it just didn't work in Streamlit. So Streamlit has process such as like input audio. So when I put input audio instead of like Pi audio, it started working really well. And because of that uh, because of Pi audio, because I integrated input audio instead of Pi audio, and the same process was followed. You take the chunk by chunk each, and then you create a WAV file, and the WAV file is passed as a transcript. And so the same process as it is, but I used like input audio instead of Pi audio. It just simplified the thing further. And then once we got the audio, uh, it got processed to a transcript, and we edited the transcript over here, like how I show it to you guys. So once I edit the transcripts, we get the fact that we pass it to the model, and Gemini Flash image, Gemini 2.5 Flash is really good image. I've tried 2.5 Flash. It does gives like really good images, but there are a few disadvantages I would talk to you about once like the entire comic is generated. Fortunately, it got generated pretty quickly. So let's just see, like 4 of the 5 pages got generated. The limitation is it takes quite some time to generate like images, because you're like the thing is like you're not just generating just one image, you're generating panel by panel and then integrating it to one page. So it does take time. And it's Gemini 2.5. I don't know whether there's a Gemini 3.0. So my friends did try 3.0, but I wasn't really sure, because like most of the documentations spoke about Gemini 2.0 or Gemini 2.5. So I don't know. I think there might be a Gemini 3.0, but I think in the future I might try a Gemini 3.0. But 2.5 gives a good performance, and it gives like a good this thing as well. Yeah. The only thing is speed, and plus like sometimes there's one more thing which I tried. The limitation is like the 429 error. If like too many people get into it, because it's Gemini that keeps on calling. Even though it gives separate session IDs, you call Gemini quite a lot, and so in that way it might get hit, and then in that way it becomes quite a tussle. So so in that way, that's one issue. I need to go check on my Google Cloud portal and increase the number of times this thing is being generated. So like the number of tokens inside, like just makes it easier for us to use. Or probably change the Gemini model, Gemini 3.0. I don't know, but that's a future purposes. But let's see. Oh boy, let's see. I hope there's no error over here that's present. Okay, cool. There's no error till now, so that's fine. And yeah, let's see. I'm just waiting for the fifth page to be generated, and once you do this thing, um, I'm sure that uh, it'll generate a really good comic, really good and comprehensive comic and things like that. Another thing which could be done for the future of absolute cinema is like integrating speech bubbles and like things as it is. So now let's see the view coming. Okay, moment of truth. Let's see how the thing. Electrical footsters, ingenious innovation, power, Nobel Prize in physics. Wow, look at this thing. Because I gave anime over here and it was sci-fi. So in that way, let's go to the next page. So here it is, like what exactly I was explaining about. So now, what exactly is the thing is like, uh, it's just like as I told you before, the narrations over here and the dialogue of Dr. Tanaka is like in white. So Dr. Arata Tanaka, a brilliant but often dismissed Japanese scientist, taught in his cluttered lab for years his dream to harness the power of human movement. Dr. Tanaka is like another failure, but the data it speaks to progress. So I mean, like this is how it's like designated. So his work focused on piezoelectric crystals, rimmed to perfect a method of converting the kinetic energy of footsteps into useful electricity. Colleague still tinkering with this molecular 10 years, and what do you expect? So yeah, the first page. Here's the second page now. As he fumbled in the dark, his foot landed on a small modified tile on the floor. A faint glow emanated from it, then a spark. Dr. Tanaka, a flicker. Could it be? Wow, look at this thing. Deliberately stepped on it again. The small colored LED light glowed brightly. 10 years of tireless work culminated in this single illuminating step. Eureka! It works, it actually works. Dr. Tanaka had his own Archimedes moment here. And now look at this thing. Like the media is like loving it. Dr. Tanaka's breakthrough spread like wildfire. How do you feel about this monumental discovery? So yeah, this was one thing that happened over here, and like the best part is like look at the way that this anime has been generated and was like really good. I feel like Gemini does a really good job in like recognizing these things together. And the best and the crazy part is like I started this thing on 28th February and like it's been less than a month, almost like it's been like quite a few weeks, and it kind of like gave me like de-stressed me from like a lot of other things like the job search, because like the job search is so random. It's like finding the love of your life, which doesn't happen to love, but it's fine. I respect it, but then, like developing this thing was an amazing thing to be done, and I had an absolute pleasure doing it. It was absolutely phenomenal, and I really feel proud of what I've achieved. But there's way more to come for this thing, and I really look forward to like sharing further progress with this. So thank you so much guys for listening. If any tips, if anything is there, just any suggestions you guys have, uh just feel free to let me know in the comments, or like anywhere in my LinkedIn or something like that. Also, there's one more thing before I tell you, like sometimes like the panels may not get generated, so don't feel bad, but it's a Gemini limitation. Gemini doesn't generate like a lot of like this thing. So, and sometimes it's a bit inconsistent because it's like Arada Tanaka and then it's like Kenji Tanaka, but then like the Tanaka surname was the same. So I guess like his name was like Kenji Arata Tanaka, or like Kenji Tanaka. That's it. But Arata might have been his nickname. So, but but the thing is like the one thing which I really achieved over here is like I made your thoughts into a comic book, which is something really interesting, and you can just try it around. And if in case like any of you get like rate limiting errors, like 429 errors, please refresh the screen. It'll come back again, and then you can try it once more. It's working really well. It's absolutely fun trying it out. Even a kid can try this thing out. So in that way, like anyone can try it out, and you can type the method as it is. It's gonna be the same. So have fun, guys. Take care. Have a good day. See you then.